Well, hey everybody, it's Mrs. Perryman. I'm glad you're joining us today. Got a few announcements, some things that we're probably going to need to be talking about. One of the big ones that is coming up is on the job training, or OJT, for you year two students. And you'll see when you open up Moodle this time, you'll see there are some directions on there for how to become employed for the short term that will satisfy the OJT requirement of this class. It's 100 hours. It will go really fast. And you do have the option of going there instead of coming here. So you could go, for instance, Anthony and Jaden could go there at 12:30 to 3:30 instead of coming here. But 100 hours will go really fast, and you're not required by any means to go beyond that. A lot of students like to want to go ahead and keep their job because they like working and like the extra income. And so a lot of students go ahead and keep their job, and that's just fine. If you're already working, then let's talk and see if the job that you have will satisfy that requirement. It doesn't necessarily have to be at a restaurant, as long as it has something that is related to food service. For instance, like a convenience store. Most convenience stores have some version of food that they serve. Some places have sandwiches or pizza that they serve, or at the very least, they're going to have some type of a fountain drink counter, and all of that is food related, and they'll all have a cashiering type situation. Even places like, I was thinking about Mendez, that is working over at Dollar General. They handle food there, and the other thing that's happening there, of course, is cashiering, and they sell food there. So those would all be things that you could think about, or places you could think about working. Any discussions about that, or anything that I can kind of help you get the ball rolling with, guys?
When's the final due date for it?
Well, the last 9 weeks, which will be, whenever we get back from spring break, is generally about the time people start doing it, so that they have enough time to complete that before the end of school. And so, we're a couple of weeks out from spring break. And so I want you guys to be thinking about that, what you can do. So like I said, it's 100 hours. It goes really fast. And if you're not sure where to do it at, or if you're having trouble with it, we have lots of connections out in the community, and we can find something that's fairly near where you are. Or you may know somebody that works at like in Anthony's case, he knows somebody that works at a hospital. Maybe you know somebody that works in the nursing home. Even your school and your community, they all have a food service operation. And a lot of times the schools will let the students work there to do their internship just for a limited amount of time. And so don't think that it has to be, don't think you have to work at Shangri-La to make this happen, because we can come up with lots of ways to make it work. And I think it'll be a really good experience for you all, because I want you to see how a food service operation really works. I mean, you've had lots of experience here with food prep and things like that, and then some of you guys remember getting to work out in the concession when we had that open. but you know, we've had to cut things way back because of COVID. And so a lot of those experiences that you could have had with dealing with the public and food service, you really missed out on. And so this is a great way for you guys to kind of get your feet on the ground in the learning process. And so again, if you're not sure where you think you might want to work, or even having trouble locating a job, if you will, please come and talk to me, because I can help, and we'll find you a place that'll be someplace that you can enjoy. And remember, it's not forever. It's just 100 hours, and that really will go fast. But I think it'll be a good learning experience for you, because you know, you've learned how we do things here at school, but there's lots of ways to do things, and you'll learn lots more working out in the world. And plus you'll see new pieces of equipment, new processes, you'll meet some new people, be all kinds of things that you'll learn. And so please let's talk about that if you're having trouble. Mrs. Gatewood has the paperwork for OJT, and she is happy to give that to you. And before you go, it has to be approved. If you're a high school student, the folks at home have to sign off on it, that they know where you're at and what you're doing. Your employer has to sign off on it, that they understand that you're a student, and that student stuff has to come first, and that you're in the learning process, and they are willing to take on you as an apprentice. And we have to approve that we think it's a safe place for you to work. So you can't just start going. There's some paperwork and a few things that have to be done beforehand. And so in that process, I'll have to sign off on it. Mrs. Gatewood has to sign off on it. Your parents have to sign off on it, and your employer. So there's four signatures on that paperwork. So it's not something that you're just won't likely be able just to whip out in one day. And so it's a little bit of a process. And so again, if you need help with that, please let's talk. Right now, like I said, you've got a couple of weeks, and if you're having trouble finding a spot, let's talk, because I don't want you just to have to settle for the only thing that you can find. I want you to work somewhere that you think will be fun, and you feel like you're going to learn something that will help you in your future. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions or discussion about that, or anything I can help you with right now?
Well, if you could find any good places in Miami, I'd like that.
Okay, someplace in Miami. There's all kinds of places, Jaden, in Miami. We have some connections with the hospital there, the coffee shop there, the casino. How old are you? If you're 18, we can talk to casinos. If you're not 18, probably not. Let's see. Anyway, there's all kinds of connections that we can help you with in Miami and in Grove, and well, just about all of our sending communities. We have connections there. And if you're not sure, then come and see me and let's have a conversation about that, because I can get you on the right track with that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. Well, but like I said, don't wait. If you know of some place, I would go ahead and try to, if you know them, I would go ahead and try to make contact with them and get a discussion going about whether they might let you come and do your internship there. Some places will want to hire you as a real live employee. Some places understand that you're just coming in to kind of do more or less a job shadow kind of a thing, and they won't pay you. So, I mean, there's lots of different scenarios that would work. Sometimes I had a kid last year that did it like as a volunteer situation at a senior citizen center, and he would go in and help prep and then help clean up at the end, and like I said, just as a volunteer. And so there's a lot of different ways that you can satisfy this requirement, and we'll just kind of see what's available in your area and kind of some things that sound interesting to you. So let's talk about that, okay? All right, the next thing that we need to talk about is hopefully you guys were able to get through with menus last week. Did everybody do okay on that?
I still haven't got to it yet.
Okay. Well, we'll get that whipped out as soon as possible, because we're moving on today to marketing. And you know, your menu at your restaurant is your selling tool, and it's the thing that is telling your customers what you have for sale, how much it costs, all of that kind of thing. But even before you get the menu set, there's some marketing things that we will want to talk about. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you here. Right there it is. Okay. So, and this is about marketing. And honestly, the marketing part of this is going to happen before you put your menu together, because you have to know who your customer is. Who are you selling to? Because if you have a great product, but nobody wants to buy it, it's not going to do you much good. Okay. And so honestly, the marketing part of it is going to take place before the menu does. Okay. And this is in your book is actually chapter 1. Okay. One of the things that we have to understand in the hospitality business in particular is that the customer is number one. And without them, we don't get paid. We don't have a business. We can't do anything. And so happy customers are an absolute must. And the way that we get happy customers is that we understand them and we know them, and we make it our purpose to put them first so that we know that they're happy. Okay, we want them to be happy with our product, with the products that we offer, with our service, and that they want to come back. Okay, so here's a question down here at the bottom on this slide, and it says, how does the customer being number one relate to guest services and professionalism? So guest services are the things that we offer our guests, and professionalism is the way that we conduct ourselves. So how is that related to helping the customer, or having the customer be number one in our priorities? What do you think?
I think you want a happy customer. If you don't have a happy customer, you don't get much profit into it.
That's right. That's right. So if they're happy, they like what you're doing, that they'll probably come back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and if they're unhappy, they probably won't come back. Okay. In professionalism, do you guys remember what professionalism is?
I kind of think I know what it means. Doesn't it mean like dressing for the part, acting like the part?
Okay. So it means doing your best. It means showing up with a clean uniform, ready to work. It means taking care of the customer, being proud of what you do. just being helpful, happy about your job, and just really wanting to be of service. And so all of those things kind of all wrapped up together are what makes a good customer experience. Okay, so quality guest services. So we're giving the customer what they need, and we're doing it in a way that they understand that we're glad that they're there and that we're happy to be there as well. Okay. Well, let's talk about the market for a minute. And so a market is the group of people that we're going to be selling stuff to. Okay, and it's not always the same for every kind of restaurant. For instance, here at school, the people that buy our food here at school are mostly students, but we also have some teachers that eat here and some staff members, right? But for the most part, it's not the general public. And so, but that's our customer. So let's say the Eagle's Nest over in Afton. So their market is people that want to come into the store there, that may either want to buy gas or buy a convenience store item or maybe a pizza. Okay, and so they're catering to someone that needs to move quickly. So because they're driving and need to get somewhere. But understanding who your market is going to determine a lot of things, because it has to fit. The things that you sell or the services you provide have to fit with the market that you have or that you're appealing to. Okay. Marketing, now that's that process of communicating with your people. Okay, so, and those are things like, what kind of products or services do you offer? Okay, and how you want to put them in the marketplace. Okay, are there lots of other people doing the same thing? Because if there is, there's going to be quite a bit of competition. How are you going to promote the things that you sell to your potential customers? And how are you going to price them so that you know you're making money, but they're not too expensive to keep people from wanting to buy them? And how are you going to get these goods to your customers? Are they going to come to you? Are you going to deliver it? What method? How are they going to know about it? And how are they going to purchase what you're selling? Okay, so here's an idea that we need to kind of be thinking about for just a minute. The marketing concept. Okay, so whenever you are thinking about opening a restaurant or really any business, you want to think about what good or service can we provide that people will want to buy, that we can make money on. Because after all, the whole reason of being in business is to make money, right? Yeah, and if we're not making money, there's really no point. Okay, so that's that marketing concept. What can we do that we can make money at, that people are going to want to buy? And the way we do that is we need to understand our customer and be able to identify what it is that they need and they want. So, and that's a whole career in itself. And so that's a really big question. Who's our customer? What do they need and what do they want? Okay. And then once we've determined that, the next thing that we have to figure out is what they need and what they want can we provide it at a price that they're willing to pay and at a price that we can make money on? So there's lots of variables, isn't there? Okay.
Yeah.
And so we'll move on to the next slide then. So this marketing mix. Now this is one of your questions this week on Moodle, and it's talking about the marketing mix, and that is a big picture of everything that goes into creating a project, a product that you're going to sell, creating it, brainstorming it, developing it, figuring out how you're going to market it, sell it, package it, all of those things that go from all the way from idea to leaving with the customer. Okay, and there's a couple of schools of thought. So old time was called the 4 Ps, traditional marketing mix: place, product, price, and promotion. And that is old school marketing. Okay, where are you going to introduce it? What's your product? How much is it going to cost? And how you're going to promote it? Now, with so many other aspects of ways that people can buy things and ways that people can receive things, it's really changed the game a lot. And so what we use now is this contemporary marketing mix. So we have a product or service mix because we may sell or market multiple things. The presentation mix, how is it shown? And then the communication mix. So how are we getting the word out about what it is that we have to offer? And so we'll talk about those, but this again is one of your questions. And so you can refer back to some of these slides to help you answer this question. Okay, so a product service mix. Okay, so product service mix, if you look at all of the food, all of the services that you offer your customers, that's your product service mix. Okay, and the way that you provide it has a lot to do with your success. For instance, I was thinking about during COVID how a lot of restaurants were just starving to death, and they have, many of them, if they were smart, figured out ways to market food in another format. One is that they let a lot of things, a lot of restaurants went to just pick up and or carry out, maybe delivery as opposed to dine in. Some restaurants began to have grocery type items that they could sell along with their packaged or pre-made food. And so being able to adapt helped them survive. And so how are you going to let people know what you can do, and what is it that sets you apart from the restaurant down the street? Okay, why would a customer come to you as opposed to the restaurant next door? If you offer similar things, what is it about your place that's attractive? Okay. All right, here's your presentation mix. Okay, and that's all of those things that makes it look unique. Okay, so it may be the layout of the restaurant, it may be the size of it, furniture, decorations, color schemes, uniforms, something that helps people identify that, hey, this is, I don't know, a Chili's, or hey, this is Kentucky Fried Chicken. And there's something about that and people know it. Okay, so aesthetics, there's a good word, and that's the way visually and emotionally that people feel about your restaurant when they're there. Okay, here's your communication mix. And this can happen a lot of different ways. And basically what it is just the way that you're going to reach your customer. And you know, people spend a lot of time driving in their car, so radio ads are a good way to advertise. Newspapers are really kind of becoming a thing of the past, and people are becoming more digital. So, you know, 15 or 20 years ago, a newspaper ad would be like a go-to thing. But there are other ways that restaurants can advertise now. Some things that are probably new would be things like Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat. All of those are ways that we know we are reaching our customers, because we know that so many people are spending time online. Some other ways that we might reach our customer, websites, even our menu. A lot of times people will have to-go menus that are printed on paper, and they may send those out. Some other ways, maybe being active in the community, maybe sponsoring an activity in the community, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Being able to communicate to your market the types of things that you have for sale is going to be really important. You need to develop a relationship with your community, and that's going to help you greatly. All right, so we kind of touched on this a minute ago about social media. And really this is kind of really just kind of something that almost every business needs to have, because again, so many people spend a lot of time on social media. And as a business, in order to be successful, we're going to have to build a community of people that appreciate what we have and want to buy it. And that's how we stay in business. And so having followers on our social media accounts is a way that we can showcase what we're doing, we can showcase new products, we can talk about successes or a new employee or an event. But it's also a good way to get feedback, like, how are we doing? What would you like to see? Are we bringing the McRib back? So, but getting that communication with our people is really key in being able to be successful. Okay, with social media, you have to be really careful about what you're putting out, because have you ever heard Facebook is forever? Yeah, because it is, because if somebody screenshots that, or if you've made a mistake, even if you take it down, it's still there. Okay, so remember, think about your audience all the time. What do they need to know about what you're doing? What are things that are pleasing for them to see? Is there some information that could be helpful to them, like I don't know, a healthy version of whatever menu item you're making? How can you demonstrate expertise? How can you show them that you're the best at making salads? That connection and encouraging conversation with people that who your people are, who your customers are, is the best thing that you can do, because they're the ones that will make or break whether you stay in business or not. So that conversation, how are we doing? What do you need? Sometimes it's painful, but you really need to know that. Also, if they leave comments or make comments, you need to acknowledge those comments, even if it's just a thumbs up, I agree, or it might be something written, but those all need to be acknowledged in some way. So you need to show people that you care, that they took the time to express whatever their ideas or concerns are, and be ever mindful that it's an actual person that is seeing what you're putting out. Okay, market trends. So the market, it changes all the times. There's things that affect it, such as the economy, or in our case, what the COVID has affected every single thing. Sometimes it's seasonal. Sometimes it might be a shortage of a particular food item. It's just on and on and on. But things, the markets are always being affected by something. And as a business owner, you've got to keep up. You've got to understand what's going on in politics, what's going on in your community. And you've got to understand what your role is in that and what you can do to help. Okay, so here's your marketing plan. And your marketing plan are the steps that you're going to take to sell a product or service to a specific market. So once you've identified who your market is, which is step one, you're going to come up with some objectives. This is what we want to do, and this is how long we want it to be. And then we're going to have that strategy, step one, step two, step three. We're going to go for it, and then we're going to look back and evaluate it and make sure that it's working. Okay, so I think this is also one of your questions that you're going to have this week. Okay, so you're going to research the market. So this is step one in any marketing plan. If you're going to be, let's just throw an idea. If you're going to sell hamburgers, you have to know who the people are that are going to want to buy your hamburgers. Who are you trying to sell hamburgers to? And are there other hamburger places out there that are trying to sell the people that you're trying to sell to? So that market research is going to be very important, okay? And every other choice that you make will be based on this, okay? We need to understand what our strengths and weaknesses are. We need to understand what the strengths and weaknesses of our competitors are. And again, we need to understand what our customers want. And so that's our marketing plan. Research the market is number one. We're going to establish some objectives. Okay, and this is step two. So once we know who we're marketing to, we're going to have some goals and give a timeline. So our goal is maybe to reach this much sales, or to introduce another burger, or I don't know. I mean, you could have any kind of a goal that you wanted to, and your timeline is going to say within 3 months, 6 months, within 1 year. And so it gives you something to work toward or to measure, because if you can't measure it, you don't know if you're making progress or not. And so having those goals helps you see where you're headed. Okay, this develop a marketing strategy. That's step three. Okay, how are you going to achieve those objectives that we were talking about in step two? It's good to come up with a bunch of ideas. Include everybody. Everybody's in on the decision making. And, sometimes it may be a combination of several ideas, or it may be one really great idea. But whatever it is, choose the best plan to market your business. Okay, here's your action plan, and that is step 4. Okay, so you're gonna put it to work. So sometimes you just wanna get it rolling, and then you can kind of get the wheels on it and make adjustments as you go. And that really is a good way to work. Otherwise, you're analyzing things to death, and you may never get it off the ground. And so pick something, go with it, and if you need to change it, you can change it, but get moving. Okay, get that marketing plan, that action plan, get it moving. Okay, and then evaluate and modify. So at halfway through your set time that you've allowed yourself to complete, maybe halfway through, let's look at it. How are we doing? Are we on track to make our goal, or are we having trouble? Okay, if we're on track, let's keep going. If we're missing it, what do we need to do to fix it? All right, here's some promotions. Remember that those are things you might have a sale, or you might have for a limited time. We're having the mint ice cream flurry. Okay, so it could be a lot of different things. A buy one, get one free. All right, so your target market. Remember, you can't be everything to everyone. All right, you have to decide find out who your people are and market to them. Okay, who are you trying to reach? Again, you have to know this. Who are you trying to reach? What type of advertising is going to reach this group? Are they people that are going to read the newspaper? Are they people that are driving around in their car that might listen to a radio ad? Are they people that are on Instagram that might see an ad come up there? How are you going to reach your people? Okay, so think about, who do you want to attract and why? Okay, are you after a young single population? Are you targeting families? Are you targeting business people? Who is it that you want to attract? Okay, and then also you need to understand who is currently buying your product and why are they doing that? Okay, so making sure that the choices that you make and the decisions that you make are guest driven, that you're looking at data and making sure that the choices that you're making are reflective of the market that you're serving, because you want to have happy customers, and the way you do that is you understand them and you give them what they want. Okay, so mass marketing. Mass marketing assumes that, let's look at this picture here, for instance. Mass marketing assumes that everybody likes Red Rock Cola and everybody likes baseball or Babe Ruth. Okay, so what about people that don't drink soda? What about people that don't know anything about baseball or don't know who Babe Ruth is? So that ad, although, if you had that ad in Chicago outside of Wrigley Field, maybe so, but not everybody is going to get it. And so mass marketing, might work for some things, but whenever you think about the restaurant business, people are really particular about their food and the kinds of food that they like and how they want their food prepared. And so mass marketing is not a really great way for restaurants to market their business. Okay, so people's tastes are different, and so a better way probably to market it would be market it specifically. Okay, so look at this target marketing, and so you're going to look at your target market that of people that would be able to appreciate the kind of business that you have, and the services that you offer. And so understanding things like the demographics of the area where your restaurant is. Is it an elderly community? Is it a business commuter type community? Is it a relatively young community? Is it a community of families? Who is it that lives there? You know, if it's a young family, probably more of a fast food kind of a place. If it is business oriented, it may be that a sit down type of dining situation might be better. But who lives near your restaurant that would be potential customers? So understanding that target market and that market segmentation will help us make better choices about the kinds of things that we're going to serve, about the services that we offer, about how the aesthetics of our business really involved in just about everything. So remember, we want to focus on the people that are our customers, our people, the people that identify with the goods and services that we provide. And so before you even open your restaurant, the things that we'll look at right over here on the right, these are demographic type things. Age, you know, if you have a relatively young community, people are 35 or so, and you can find all of this stuff out on the Department of Commerce website. You can find the average age of the people in your community. You can, you know, if you're just marketing to women, for instance, if you're doing, you know, like a tea room, for instance, probably not too many dudes want to go hang out in a tea room. And so, you know, are there women available that would want to come to a restaurant like that? Think about marital status. If they're a bunch of single people, they may be more, may appreciate more of a social setting. What about income? If your community is at or below the poverty level, there's probably not going to be a lot of disposable income for people to spend money on extra things like eating out. And so that could affect the kind of restaurant you put in, or even if you put one in, and so on. But all of those demographic type things are things that you're going to need to consider before you ever even open your restaurant. And then once you do, you need to continue to consider those because this is what the people look like that are your potential customers. Okay, so you guys ever heard of a SWOT analysis?
I don't think I have.
I haven't.
Yeah, well, SWOT analysis, it's just an acronym. And whenever you look at a business to see if things are a good idea, you look at its strengths. For instance, what are we good at? We look at its weaknesses. What are some things that we need to improve on? We look at opportunities, and then we look at threats. And so this is how we can weigh, is this a good idea? Do we need to add this? Should we? Those are all things that will help us get to the answers that we need. SWOT analysis we use in a lot of different scenarios, but strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay, that's what SWOT stands for. Okay, market communication promotions. And so this is how you're getting the word out about what you have to offer. Okay, you might have a special going on, okay, or a new item or something like that. So people, you'll see ads on the TV or radio or internet, and those are very expensive. And so, you know, a small mom and pop restaurant may not have the budget for that. So what else could they do? There are things like sales promotions. So you may see things like for a limited time. It might either be like a discount, or it might be I was thinking like Sonic has a happy hour, and so for a short time, they have reduced price drinks to get people to come, because most of the time you don't just order a drink, you usually order French fries or tater tots or something to go along with that. And so they're using it to get people to come in. So that might be a sales promotion. Personal selling. So that would be like the person that answers whenever you push the button at Sonic, let's say, "Welcome to Sonic. Would you like to try some of our cheese sticks?" Okay, so that's immediately we're trying to sell you something. So, or it might be your wait person that is telling you about their specials, or asking you if you'd like to order some dessert and telling you what kind of pie they have. That's personal selling face to face, and that's free. And so that's a really good one that you just need to train your employees to do. Okay, public relations. This is also relatively free, but being involved in your community. So it might be that you have a fun day, or a community appreciation day, or Farm and Eat Free today, or you're sponsoring a group of kids, their baseball shirts with your logo on it or something. But public relations, showing that you're giving back to the community that supports you. And there also may be direct marketing involved. Okay. All right. So types of sales promotions right here. So special pricing. So maybe like a coupon for something. Or what about a frequent shopper? Have you guys ever seen those punch cards that look like a business card? And if you get all the punches, then you get like a 25% off of something, or you get a free something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another type of promotion is a premium, like a free gift. Sometimes they'll say, well, if you buy this, you get a free this. Or they might have a special event. I was looking at, I had got an email from Mulligan's in Grove, and their special event is St. Patrick's Day, and they're marketing that St. Patrick's Day, and they're telling about all the food that they'll have and live entertainment and whatever, but that's to get people to come into their restaurant and to buy food and beverages, and it helps. Yes, it's a fun event, but it also is promoting food and giving people the opportunity to buy things. Okay. Samples, maybe if you guys have ever been to Sam's on Sunday, you know, they have that's sample day. And so you're trying the sausages that they have, and you try it and you're like, oh, I'm hooked, I'm buying 2 bags of that. And so having those samples, people can try before they buy, or maybe they can have the sample and you're showing them how they could use it. So that's a good way to entice people to want to buy what you have. And the other thing is having a contest. And so maybe you sign up, put your name in the bucket, and we're gonna draw for a weekend at some resort, or you might win a cruise or whatever. But you're getting, whenever they fill out that information, you are learning who your customers are, and then having a way that you can market to them, because now you have their contact information. Okay, here's that public relations and engaging the community. Publicity is basically attention, and we hope that all of that is positive, and we want that. So community relations are going to be interacting with your local community, and it's, you develop a trust and people appreciate you as a part of the community. It encourages people to want to come to your establishment. If you need help with something, if you're active in the community, you'll come to know the community leaders. So if you're having trouble with a utility or maybe a curb or something, if they're having street maintenance and it's blocking your drive, who do you know that you can call to help you with that? So being involved in the community, that network, is really important to being able to run your business successfully. Okay, so you're meeting other restaurant people maybe in the community, and it's just a good thing to be in good standing in your community. Some ways that you can offer that. I think the Pizza Hut does this. If you take your reading card into Pizza Hut, don't you get a free pizza if you read so many books in a year or something like that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Mm-hmm. Or they might say that they give a percent of their profits to charity. A lot of businesses do that. They said they give 5% or 10% to charity. Sometimes you'll see businesses that will give you a discount if you bring in canned food for a canned food drive. So those are all ways that you can give back to your community. They don't necessarily generate income for your business, but over time, a good bit of that is going to help you have a good standing in the community. And it will help you because people will say, oh, they're so good to help in the community, let's support them. And so it's just a good thing to do. Here's your media relations, and media is radio, it's TV, it's newspaper, it's the internet, it's whatever you're doing that advertising to get that word out. Okay, and you will need to be able to do that. Okay, it's very expensive, and so you have to make sure that it counts when you do it. Who again is your target market? Who are you trying to sell to? Okay. Is it worth doing? Again, is a newspaper ad if your market is a teenager or someone like that, probably a newspaper. I mean, have you guys read a newspaper lately?
No.
When's the last time you were on social media?
I don't really get on social media either.
No?
Mine, was just probably a few hours ago.
Just a few hours ago. Okay. So I would say that, if you're trying to market to young people, probably some type of social media would be better. If you're trying to market to a 60-plus-year-old, maybe a newspaper, but you have to understand who your market is and how you're going to reach them. Okay. So how likely, once you reach them, are they going to be interested in what you have to say to them? Okay. So is your story interesting? So maybe it's not a picture of a hamburger and that we're having a sale. Maybe it is a tour of the farm where the beef's coming from. Or did you know that we use only Angus beef, yada, 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 or have some way that people know that they're getting a quality product. So make it interesting. Okay. You may have bigger operations may have a press kit or a media kit that's developed by the folks that do their advertising, and that will be a packet of some kind. It may just be general information about the restaurant, but it also may be You know, what's your menu? What awards have you won lately? It can be a lot of different things. Okay, press release. It's advertising, but it's written like a news story. Okay, all right. Well, that was kind of a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, we better get off here pretty quick. So I got to move on to the next class. But you have some things on, excuse me, Moodle for this week. And so if you can get on there and check it out, you'll find the information that you need in chapter 1 of your book. And I will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
All right, you guys take care.
Have a good day, Miss Simon.
Bye.